Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Hood Oracle Ministries with your Reverend Hoodie. I wanted to come on here and remind you guys about the book of Job, and I do have a personal testimony to attach to this. Now, I I was a mess today, y'all. Let me tell you, with this coronavirus thing going on, while I can see certainly the spiritual symbolism behind it, sometimes the human side of me tends to take over the spiritual side. And that's what happened today. I was operating from the mind instead of the spirit. And I'm not going to make this a long video, just suffice it to say that even though I was yelling at God today, I was. Oh, I know, I know. Some of you are going to be like, but I think we all have. We're human. We're human. And, it's in that humanness that God really, as a father, comes through as a father to, and everybody's different, okay? He knows how to get you to understand things according to your own personality. That's the beautiful thing about it. Now, the wonderful thing about the Bible is that you can find somewhere in those pages someone you can relate to. For me, it's Job, okay? I love Job because it's like, I'm a person that I'm all about the stability. When my stability is being threatened or, you know, if I'm on shaky ground, I can't. I just don't operate well unless my feet are firmly planted on the ground. I don't have my head in the clouds. I pride myself on being very, very stable. So if something in those elements are kind of threatening that, I don't react very well. And that's something that I have to learn as far as how to, like I say all the time, practice what you post, practice what you preach, right? And I caught myself today with this whole coronavirus thing. I was like, I just want this thing to be over already, And I'm like, I don't understand why X, Y, Z. And it's like, I'm like yelling. And it's like tears pouring down from my face. Okay, I was a wreck, dude. Let me tell you something. I got a good look in the mirror today, and this coronavirus thing has aged me a bit. Okay, it has. It has. I'm not afraid to say it. They say shame the devil and tell the truth, right? Yes, I do look a little older. You know why? Because there's a little bit of stress attached to this thing. And I'm a happy-go-lucky person every other time. But when something like this happens, I guess I was expecting this to be like the other SARS and H1N1 and all the other things that they had discovered and everything that will come in, you know, make headlines and then pretty much go back out. But no, here we are, having to make adjustments, right? And I feel a lot of us feel like Job right now. It's like, I don't understand, Lord. I don't understand. Why are things, and with Job, it was something different. He had everything and got everything taken away. Why he got everything taken away after being a faithful, loyal servant, right? Because the tempter, the devil, had basically made a wager with God. Well, he's only loyal to you. He's only faithful to you because he has everything. Start taking things away from him. Let's see how faithful he is to you then. And God took that bet. Started taking things away from him. His crops died and all of this stuff, right? And Job was like, I don't understand. The first thing you do, as a Christian, is like, did I do something or say something that would be considered not good in God's eyes? And he couldn't think of anything, because Job was a good person, faithful to the Lord. And when it happened, he was like, I don't understand. And even his friends were like, well, if you, Job, and we know you, Job, you're a good, upstanding man. If God, did this to you, you must have sinned somewhere. He's like, but no, that's just it. I didn't do anything. At least by my account, I can't think of anything. I've been racking my brain about this. This is what I love about the Bible. It's like, when you use modern vernacular, modern, language, to tell the story, you can really understand what that person was going through. This is why I love reading these stories, these parables. You can connect with somebody. And much like what happened with me today, God basically told him, "Do you know what I'm responsible for on any given day? Every second of the day, while you sleep in your bed, I'm still working. I never sleep." Right? And he basically took Job, around the universe and everything, showed him the deepness of the sea, and why certain animals hunt others and why certain things have to be. And it got me to thinking, how do we apply this to this whole coronavirus thing? And how many of us would like to see justice being served, right? With certain individuals, which that's for another video. And my convictions on this, guys. And that's why I'm making this video. Much like he told Job, do you know what I'm involved in on any given day that you don't have to think about, but it's something that I'm keenly aware of? Every atom, every molecule, I'm aware of. I created it, and it's my job to make sure everything goes according to my natural and cosmic plan. If I hurry up for you, this is why he says, don't rush me. If I hurry up for you, I upset the natural balance of things. Okay? A lot of us would like to see this justice being done. Yes, and it will be. The thing is that it's happening at a faster rate than you think it actually is. What you actually perceive of it going slower, it's actually happening faster behind the scenes. Okay, it's more fluid behind the scenes. We have that heavy 3D earth density. That's why we can't perceive of it. Okay, so that being said, I really got to thinking, wow, we are not, the only thing that we have to do is wake up, make sure we don't put ourselves in any kind of danger, and go back to sleep. Really? It's like we don't have to think about these things. We don't have to think about, providing food for the other animals, or making sure that a human drops a piece of bread so a bird can eat. We don't have to think about these things, but God does. So for us to rush him, it's actually happening a lot faster behind the scenes than we know. Okay? And that's the message that he wanted me to pass along to you. What looks like slow for you is actually happening fast on his end. Okay? But you're not going to see it that way because we're seeing it through the 3D density. Okay? That's why it looks like it's taking time. And God love our justice-filled hearts, but these things have to move at a pace where it doesn't upset the natural balance of things, okay? Because taking down the cabal, okay, while he certainly could, destroy these entities in one fell swoop, this has to be a gradual pressure, a caving in, an implosion from within, right? And this is the thing. It's going to happen the way he has planned, okay? To do it in one, just imagine that whole cabal, right? Being taken out in one fell swoop. It's going to cause a ripple effect to those that were so connected to it, to those that were so deeply ingrained in it, that when that happens, it's kind of going to short circuit their brains. Okay, I hope I'm explaining this correctly. It sometimes the words get lost in translation, but this is kind of what I'm channeling right now. All right, to do this in one fell swoop, so while he certainly could, to do that would short circuit some people. Okay, it's like, I don't know if anybody has ever seen the movie Austin Powers, the Fembots, right? Like, when they're over stimulated or whatever, or if there's a in their case, there was overstimulation. But in this one, if there's a kind of mind connection that's connected to this cabal thing, to get rid of it like that would short circuit some people. And even though there are some people that are connected to it, God is a very forgiving God. And I feel doing this very, very, not slowly, because it's by no means happening slowly. It's actually happening a lot faster in other dimensions, okay? But in this one here, we're only going to perceive of it as being slow, okay? Because of the change in our lives, okay? Which I'll get into the symbolism of that in another video. But that's basically what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, what happened with Job? Once he realized, and God asked him, do you think you could do all of what I have to do in any given day? 24 little hours. Do you think you could be responsible for every intricacy? He's like, well, no. Okay, it's that humbling. A lot of people need to be humbled, okay? It's in that humbling that he knew his position. He had a respect for what God does on any given day, okay? Because he was seeing it through God's eyes then. He wasn't seeing it through human eyes. He was seeing it through God's eyes, okay? And that's what happens when we talk to him. We get to see the things through his eyes, and we get to think like him, right? And when you think like him, you understand him. And when you understand him, you have peace. When you have peace, you can rest easy, and that's where your faith is built in. It's built in peace, okay? Shortly after that, everything was restored. So basically, there's a lot to be learned there in that parable, in that story. This is why, like I said before, I love the Bible, because you can definitely, at some point, relate to one of the characters in there. And we all have one. All of us have a character that we can relate to. Who's yours? Mine's is Job. I like that one, and I also like the parable. This one's not a parable. This one is a miracle of Jesus. This one is the one where Jesus heals the blind man. I love the symbolism in it because of the simple fact that he took a blind man that was born from birth, not seeing anything and being complete darkness, which there's a symbolism in that too. Okay, being completely in the dark. But once he knew of Jesus, had that knowledge of Jesus, and his eyes were opened, right? There's a symbolism there. It's just so beautiful. He told everybody about this man, about Jesus, okay? And he told the people that were there, I believe they were the Pharisees that he told, you were seeing physically, and you see me physically because you've had sight since your birth, but you still remain blind. Ooh, powerful, powerful words. It's like, I wish sometimes that Jesus would be made manifest here, like, flesh and bone, like sitting on my couch, to things that I would ask him. The things that I would ask him. Okay? I mean, he is one of those beautiful entities that you ask him a question, he actually has an answer. Okay? He'll have an answer for you. So I hope that this was helpful. If any of you are going through a Job moment, I hope this video helps. So let's have a discussion. Which one of the people from the Bible do you relate to during this time? Okay? And leave them in the comments. I love you guys so much, and praying for you always. And love you much. And please like, share, and subscribe. God bless you all.